Hi Aries, welcome to your 2021 yearly overview reading. I hope all is well. If you're watching this in January, then happy new year to you guys. And if you're watching this in December, then happy holiday season. You're starting off the year, and I mean, January is going to be a month. All right, Aries, you're starting off with the 10 of Cups. I feel like most readings I did up so far has got and received so many good cards for January, because January is really the month where we sort of start off the year clear, with like a clear view, a clear vision of like what you want this year to look like, where you want to focus on, where you want to stay away from, or actually move towards, what you want to expand and grow in. All right, so basically what I feel January and February for you will definitely be where you will set your goals when it comes to your finances. Maybe you would like to add 2 or 3 more income, streams into your surrounding, like into your life, basically, to really have a look at like what has meaning for you, what does your work or your career still means to you, how much is it still connected to you, what is making you happy, and what is helping you forward to really create like a solid foundation basically for your family, and maybe the family you want to build in the future. So looking at your finances in the beginning of the year, but really more so your income and how much meaning it has to you, like the work that you do, and that is directly connected to your level of income. All right, so January 10 of Cups. Should we just stop here? For February, what's the card for Aries for February? Give me a card for February for Aries. Here we go. You have the 4 of Cups. Card number 3 in March. Card for March for Aries. It's too many cards, guys. One card. There we go. The Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune for April, and for May, we have the Star card. It's happening. There's magic in the air. I can just feel it. All right, card number 6, so that's June. What's the June energy? Beautiful. It's really higher knowledge, higher purpose, visions, dreams, just overall feeling connected to your higher self. And if that's very conscious or more subconsciously, you're being guided and you are on a soul's path. I really feel that you find it very important that the things you do and the things you spend time on and you have in your life just have a greater meaning. It just needs to mean something, needs to something to you, something for the world. Like you kind of want to left your mark, and you're starting to really connect to that this year. Beautiful. Wow. Card number 7 for July, Aries, is the Magician. Powerful. Then we have the 3 of Cups for August and the 4 of Swords for September. Okay. What's the October card? You have the Strength card in October, and you have the 9 of Wands in November. What's the December card for Aries? It's you. A journey towards yourself, but the highest version of yourself, the best version of yourself, the Hierophant. King of Swords comes with that as well as a bonus card, and the other bonus card is the 2 of Swords. All right, what they're saying is don't say no instantly. Okay, that's a message I'm receiving for this year for you guys. Like, look at the options, sit with it a little bit, let it marinate, let it, let your intuition also have a say in it, without sort of, cutting things off that want to come flow to you, because that's an energy I'm feeling, and that could be something that brings in stagnation or obstacles for you this year if you won't allow the energy to flow as it should. if you feel like you have this really standfast vision of this is what it's supposed to be, this is what it's supposed to look like, this is when it's supposed to come in. You know, a lot of people say life happens while you're busy planning it, basically. And that's what I feel for this year. Of course, you can have certain goals, you can have certain things you want to work towards. You can have a vision for it, of course, but also allow the universe a little bit to be free with the hows. You see, the how things take place, who it will be, when it will happen. It's more like, this is what I feel guided, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm opening my energy towards, and letting it come in, because the universe is really showing you, giving certain experiences to you or opportunities towards your pathway in order to let this take place, let this fated event take place, is what I'm feeling. And overall, we're in a number 5 here for the entire collective. That means, being spontaneous, being adventurous, playfulness, letting things, just fall together. You can set it up a little bit, but then let also events take place as they are meant to, but not feeling like you're having a lack of control. By allowing things to just flow. It's like, actually, that is what you do control, by not trying to control certain situations. What I also feel for you, and especially in the beginning of the year, you have this vision and you have a focus, but it does take a shift in April where you're like, I'm gonna study. Like, I'm gonna study this. Not necessarily going back to school. I mean, it's a possibility. But you might actually feel more connected. Like, maybe you want to learn how to read tarot cards. You want to study the tarot deck. Like, what does it mean? How can I learn how to read for myself? Maybe I want to read for other people. Or maybe it's astrology that really inspires you. Or you want to sort of study the Bible or another religion. Like, you really feel like the need to study, you see. And I'm looking at this because normally I'm really focused on the wheel, but right now I'm just focused on this, you see. They're like laying and they're like studying, writing and reading, and it's like you're receiving information through certain things that inspire you. I feel like also really cultural based. You might want to dive deeper into the culture that maybe you were adopted, and maybe you want to connect a little bit to those roots, like your ancient sisters, or ancient feminine energy or masculine energy. Like, where do you come from? What's your stem? What's your roots? And it might just not in a way of like, I don't feel well, I need that. It's more like, I'm intrigued, I'm inspired, I just want to know, I just want to figure it out and explore this. So leave some space for that, because you might actually walk on certain areas where you always thought that wasn't for you, or things that just wouldn't be stable, and you actually find yourself walking on a surface that is really comfortable. It just really is connecting to you. So you're finding yourself on new territory, new ground, but definitely you're finding something that was there and it belongs to you. So it's a piece of you collect. So I feel like when we get born, we sort of forget who we are, and through life experiences and trying out new things, life lessons, we come closer to understanding who we truly are, you see, and what is the thing that we are meant to do and become, like becoming our best version of ourselves. It's not because you kind of have to get back to that. It's like remembering yourself. All right, so June, I feel there might be a deeper level of commitment for you. If you're dealing with someone, you might have both really been on an individual journey in the beginning of the year, but maybe, when June, July comes around, you actually feel more closely connected. You're setting some new goals, but I also feel like if you are at a point in your life, especially in the beginning of this year, where you like don't believe in love anymore, you don't want it, you're not open for it, you're like been hurt so many times, like a rediscovering of it's almost like a a disconnecting of the person that made you feel that way about love, and see love in its purity and in its frequency. And then you're taking back your own personal power by re-believing in something. Like it's open, like you're opening your heart for to believe again in that it's possible. So August is a month where you come together, parties, might have some, small get-togethers. I feel a lot of celebration for a lot of people in that month. And then we have the 7 of Wands in between that, because I wanted to know why you want more clarification for August. Ace of Swords, like you also maybe are reconnecting. Why do I say constantly reconnecting? Disconnecting yourself from a group of people that sort of took you back in your old habits. Because I feel like you kind of are resistant of a group of people, or a way of living, a lifestyle. Maybe you are not really keeping up with your, sleep schedule. It might be a little bit disordered. I feel that you felt like you've been pulled in a little bit too much to the people that used to do that, right? Like, you hang out with certain people who are like less serious and not really on their game, and then you'll find yourself slagging a little bit, but you connect yourself pretty quickly, and you're like, no, I'm gonna cut this out. And also because you're like really doing good, and I feel some self-sabotaging energy around August, maybe September, but you are really taking a moment where you're like, okay, why am I going back here? Why am I removing myself from this part where I really felt good, and now I am doing the same thing all over again? I don't want to do this. So you're using the time in September really good with the Virgo energy in September to reconnect with yourself, tune in, contemplate, going over things, really tuning in with yourself. Okay, how am I doing? What am I feeling? What do I want? What do I feel like I want to expand in my life? I really feel that moment, because after that, in October, you have the Strength card. It means that you're overcoming those fears because you're sitting with them. You're not trying to run from it. You're like, okay, no, I do want that self-reflection because it's going to help me on my journey. So a lot of self-reflective energy. And it definitely can come through communication with certain people. While you discover certain things about yourself, you're like, whoa, I'm so triggered by this. Why do I feel so triggered? Like, let's tune in. Like, what is this? I want to know, because I want to fix it. I'm going to clear 9 of Wands for you guys for the month of November. I feel like just this one thing you can't let go of. Like you're healing, you're transforming, you're overcoming fears, fear of failure as well, fear of success. Then it's just one thing you're holding on to. I need to know what that is. You might actually be recovering from a connection with a Leo. It might have been a Leo, but I feel with the tree again, it's like trusting your angels, trust in your divine guidance, trust in what you figure out here to reset your beliefs. Still need some answers. Yeah, you might actually, there's this part of you, like I said, you want to hold on to because you don't want to restart. You don't want to start again. You don't want to become a beginner at something maybe. Like there's just a small thing inside of you that's holding you back still while you're overcoming already so much. But then there's one last thing that maybe it's actually merging your idea with other people, allowing them to come in, allowing people to come closer. Maybe you feel that you're starting to really book some good results and seeing some payout happening, and it's like, oh, I'm afraid that I might lose it again. But I feel with the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, you're also embracing this whole new journey, and it's good to reflect upon it because you really are making some major steps ahead in this year. And by the end of the year, you will feel so much more at peace and so much more connected, and also have so much more clarity about what this rest of this decade will look like for you. So like 2020 was like the big shift. 2021 is to sort of figure our way out into the grown-up world again. And I feel 2022, 2023, it's like the years when you actually are out there doing it. But it, you know, sometimes we need some time to just catch up. So major year for you, I feel that. But it's also important, like, don't instantly say no to things if they show up. If you just leave a little bit of some time, maybe say like, listen, I don't know. Can I just think about it? I will call you next week. And then maybe you're still going to end up saying no, but train yourself to first check in. Like, is it what I want? Is it an option? Or do I feel like something better is out there for me? Do I feel like maybe that it has been? Maybe it's a time for me to shift towards something else. So if you're just conscious and give yourself that space, you will really greatly benefit from that, Aries. You really would. All right, I'm gonna get a spirit message for you for this year. You have ancestral wisdom, and it's exactly what I said. Your ancestors. Beautiful. All right. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this time to learn and to grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy, and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. I said, you got like a lot of help coming. A lot of downloads, a lot of wisdom, a lot of, you know, the tree. It's like, yeah, it's like your angels, your team, your ancestors. You are part of a bloodline, Aries. You are part of a certain bloodline, and there's always something in this lifetime that will show you why you were born in the bloodline you were in. And you are in. So, I'm going to tune in a little bit because I do want a clarification on the Four of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. The Empress. Yes. Yes. This is a good energy. Don't underestimate yourself. I feel maybe you're ready to actually conceive a child this year, or actually starting to plan for it. I'm hearing Planned Parenthood, maybe deciding to actually, if you're feminine of course, and if you're in that age range, it's not for all, I totally understand. You might actually are deciding to do it by yourself. You see, and it's like a new way of looking at things, right? So that's maybe something that you feel connected to, and it might actually, you know, become more in the foreground this year for you. Like, okay, how would I do that? And like, what do I feel comfortable with if I would do it in that way? And like, maybe it's something you actually really embraced at one point, but at least let yourself be guided and be open for the options. Like I said, don't say no instantly, because you are meant to, you know, bring a child into this world in that way, because there's so much for you to learn on that journey. And maybe for the person who's, you know, the soul that you put on this earth, maybe also needed that life lesson in order to become the best version of themselves. It's like, you cannot, like, the how sometimes is not up to us, but sometimes it is presented to us as an option. And then don't say no instantly, go over it if you feel connected to it or not. So that's not for all, but that was a message for some of you. Beautiful Queen of Pentacles. So I do feel like a more grounded energy coming from you. And like I said, your finances here and there, if you take it serious and if you are open for change, and more spontaneous energy around it, and trying out new ways and new things and looking at from a different approach or from a different angle, you really can have great beneficials and great blessings around that area for you this year. There might be a moment where you feel like you want to travel, maybe like long distance traveling, or you actually are working on a project with people from overseas. So it's like people you never met in real life, but you're setting up a project with or for those people. That's something I feel. Let me see. It's also about giving a stage or creating a stage for other people. So you might actually start like a community service thing, or I don't know, like maybe you deciding to actually share certain knowledge you have about being on stage or being a comedian or being an actor or an actress or something like that, and just to do it in a way where other people can shine as well, like shine together, or where you, because of you finding a place within yourself, that you can actually give that to others as well. You have justice as well, so certain things that you felt were not fair, they will be balanced out this year. So sometimes justice shows up when you're ready to see that someone leaving you wasn't neglecting you, but was actually setting you free. You see, and then we get justice about, look at it in a different light and see that there was a gift in it for you. I feel that is so powerful, because the magician doesn't always say like, hey, everything all of a sudden changes and you feel great about it. The magician is like, hey, you got more control than you think. You have tools, you have knowledge, you can make a change. You are important for the community. You just, have to remind yourself of where you came from and where you are right now and what you would like to achieve going onward on this journey. So those are things that I'm really feeling for you this year. Greatest advice I think I can give you is to don't say no right away. Okay? Take some time. Contemplate on it. Let your intuitive energy shine through. Because it might surprise you where you end up in the end of 2021. Alright, Aries, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form for you. Maybe you want to come back to this reading halfway through the year. It's like, okay, now it makes more sense. Because it's a big, reading actually. And we're trying to stay a little bit on the surface with it. Of course, I'll do in-depth readings each and every month for the month that will come up. And I hope to see you here along that journey. Okay, so once again, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays if you're watching this in December. I love you. Mwah. Bye, Aries.